I'm Jonas Woost. I think someone interviewed me today and described me as a music tech expert. And I'm just quoting that person because I would never call myself that, you know. It's a bit embarrassing. I was working for Last FM for 4 years. I was the head of music there at Last FM, based in London. And before that, I was working in the music industry. I was working for different record labels in the UK as well as in Hamburg, Germany, which is where I'm from. So I kind of came to this mess from the music side. So I was working for record labels, and then while I was working for different record labels, I got to know the guys from Last FM. They hired me eventually, and then through that, I really got into this music tech scene. When you look at all the change from the last 10 years, certainly the winners of all that are the fans of music. It's easy to access music, it's easy to listen to music, it's easy to get music recommended, and music is everywhere. So if you like music, then this is some really good times, right? This is some really good times. Even the quality of music, right? I mean, just like the technical quality of music is really good, and it's always increasing, and everything gets more affordable. So they're certainly the winners of all the change that we've seen. On the other hand, the losers of all the change, well, I guess you're going to have to say that the recording industry, certainly the industry part, has been suffering a lot, and they're going to continue to suffer, and they're shrinking right now. A year ago or so, I came up with this idea that music is kind of like a rumor. It's going to spread. It's nothing you can do. You will not be able to stop a rumor from spreading. The question I often get is like, what about the value of music, and if they have no control over it, and how we're going to make money? Well, you know what? A rumor is kind of a value, right? In a certain way. Maybe not monetary, but if it's a good rumor, there's a value to it. But the person who came up with that rumor, or the creator of the rumor, has no control over that value. The consumer and the person who passes it on, they kind of decide on what value it has. And the same goes for music. It's a shame that, and there still is all this energy wasted on suing people who shared some files on the internet. I mean, and we're talking a lot of energy, a lot of money spent on that. I mean, that money could go somewhere else. That money could go to you know, helping new businesses, developing new business models, or maybe just finding new artists. You know, the music industry, the recording industry, anyway, they should know, and they know that I mean, finding new artists, that's something they're good at, and marketing those artists. You know, that's something that's still very, very good at, and that's in fact a very important role to do that. So why not spend the money on these aspects and to actually grow your business there? Record labels should do more than putting out records, and they should have a broader. They should have broader tasks about dealing with their artists. We can see that a little bit. I'm actually a bit surprised that we don't see that as much as maybe it should be. Maybe record labels should be more involved right now already with touring and with publishing and with merchandising, etc., etc. I don't see that very often, but then maybe I don't have the insight really working at the record label, so I'm not quite sure what's happening there behind the scenes. Pop stars are really important. Pop stars are important, and pop stars are awesome. It's nice to be able to look at a certain person and say, I love that person for what that person stands for. Obviously, I don't know that person personally, but I like the music, and I like the style, I like the fashion, I like the concerts, I like the whole package of that person. I don't think there's anything wrong with celebrities, to be honest. I think for many people, it gives them a kind of, maybe something that's sort of stable they can look up to, something that seems so perfect and they can sort of hold on to. And I think there's nothing wrong with it, and I think we should still have that, absolutely. The good thing is that we have the choice. You know, I can now be into someone like Madonna, but at the same time realize that, oh, she's been actually produced by all these awesome producers that have also been working together with these other people, and see that they're behind the machine, the celebrity machine that's Madonna. There's actually some good music behind it, or some good producers behind it, some good songwriters behind it that do other stuff, and it gives you a different kind of context. So this kind of thing of looking up to something, I think it's important, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. maybe we're not going to look back at what's happening right now, but more look back at what's happening before that and think, that was a strange time, wasn't it? Remember the time when we were pressing music onto pieces of plastic and then selling those pieces of plastic in a unit price, as opposed to charging for consumption, or as opposed to having it free, or however it's going to work in the future. So for the whole entertainment, and in a way maybe the whole information business, we're going to be maybe laughing about it a little bit. It might seem to our kids, it might seem a little bit amusing, the fact that you are able to sell information. And I apologize that I call music information, but that's one thing it is, apart from many other things as well, that we are able to sell information on a physical data carrier with a unit price. That's a really bizarre concept. And this is what we're going to look back in, and then we're going to say what's happening right now, the change, is just what is it, the natural course, the natural way of things.